So I made a video yesterday talking about how Pastor Adeboye is still involved in Nigerian politics to act like a bystander and ask his members to fast and pray for the country to be better. And the video made me realize two things. First, a lot of people are actually awakening spiritually when we're talking about how African pastors, especially Nigerian pastors, are one of the biggest problems we have in this country. And the second thing I realized is a lot of people don't even understand what that statement means, and so you could see them in the comment section trying to buttress their own points. Right. So I just want to make this known and try to explain myself further, because when I made the video yesterday, I was a bit scared, but seeing that this 30 days ranch challenge is actually a thing and people are actually supporting people speaking out, I feel like we should address this better. Now, a few years ago, Pastor Adeboye made a statement on his altar. He said, before the church ends, he needs somebody to donate 1 billion naira.
The grace of God can give 1 billion naira. And in the power of God, such people should please see my secretary in the office tonight for a very special announcement. And then there'll be some of you who can say, Daddy, I wish I can give 1 billion, but all I can afford is 100 million. Such people should also see my secretary after the program tonight.
This was at least 5 years ago. He wants somebody to donate 1 billion naira before the church ends. Do you think it's you that is an everyday Sunday attendee that he was referring to? These pastors have political sons that one person or even more than one person can just offer to give that 1 billion that Sunday. Now, you as a human being and somebody with the fear of God, would you ever question this 1 billion you're giving me? Where did you get it from? 1 billion naira years ago when billion was still billions. Every politician, the politicians that you guys want us to leave the spiritual leaders and focus on the politician, every politician has a spiritual father who they go to for advice, who they go to, they bless the pastor with, little token, stolen tokens. A few years ago, Chris Oyakilomi's church had to return millions of naira to one industry like that. Why? Because it was proven that one of their leading staffs stole millions of naira and sent it to the church as tithes and offering. And because of that evidence, the church had to refund those millions of naira. This pastor should not be excluded in what is going on in Nigeria, because not only are they politically involved, they've endorsed political leaders, literally made their members vote for political leaders of their choice. So why, if the country is bad, we should exclude them and say they have no this thing whatsoever? A lot of redeemed pastors are involved in politics. That is not a coincidence, and I would not believe you tell me that the man in charge of this redeemed church has little or no influence over these people and what they do. Because remember, he wants someone to give him 1 billion naira before the church ends. That is not a civil servant that can give that money. That is obviously either a corrupt politician or a corrupt worker who is stealing money from his office or wherever they work. You, as a Christian, ask yourself, if Jesus Christ existed in our time today, would he be making the moves some of your GOs are making? Let's be honest. If you want to be really sincere, you realize that these men that our parents grew up, and we also kind of grew up adoring as second in command to God, again, they are just smart Nigerians who know how to play the game, enrich themselves, have slaves as members, because the video of the pastor who made his church members eat grass and stuff, those are also church members of a certain pastor. You cannot tell those members that their pastor is fake. You cannot tell those members that their pastor is just using them. They would swear on their life that you're crazy. So because your pastor does not make you eat grass, does not mean he's not on a more diabolically manipulating role in the society. Also remember, if Nigeria is free of hunger today, you would not need handouts from a lot of these people. They would not need to share their rice. If we really want a change in Nigeria, we should hold everyone accountable because of their actions that we've seen them do. This same Adeboye called Tinubu Abraham. This is Tinubu's words when they were ordaining Tinubu's wife as a pastor in the Redeem. Allegedly, he said, I can pull this up. He said Adeboye called him Abraham. And when he probed Adeboye, like, what does that mean? He said, Father of Nations. Your GOs are fraternizing with the politicians that you people have agreed are ruining the country. So why should we exclude them when we are holding people accountable for ruining the country? That is my question. These men do not move godly. They do not move like they are for the people. Remember, in the Bible, God challenged a prophet to go to the kings and challenge the kings. But we don't have any Nigerian pastors speaking out. Why is that, if I may add?